Hey, we're back at TCO Studios. It's your play-by-play guy, Paul Allen. Very, very happy to meet and be joined by Mr. Dom Capers, recently hired as Senior Defensive Assistant for the Minnesota Vikings. This is a 32-year coach, 25 as defensive coordinator or head coach. And welcome to the Purple and Gold. It's, I'm 54 years old, but I'm just like a little jittery right now. I've just seen you all over the place and do so many things at such a high level for so long. And like Gary Kubiak this time last year, now you're here. This is great, man. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. I'm excited to be here and look forward to the challenges ahead. And I've always had a lot of respect for the Viking organization and Mike Zimmer especially, having watched Mike and his defenses and having competed against him. And so it's nice to finally be on his team.
So how well, Dom, have you known Mike over the years? I mean, you generally with these 3-4 pressures and stuff like that, back to Pittsburgh, the whole thing, and Mike with the double-A gap, we're getting deep into stuff now. So two of the great defensive minds in the last 30 years of football are here. How well do you and Mike know each other?
Well, I think most coaches study each other in this league. There aren't a lot of secrets. If somebody's on the cutting edge one year, then everybody studies it and tries to utilize some of the things that they've had success with. And so, over the years, with Mike being at Dallas and Cincinnati, and of course here, I've had an opportunity to study his defenses and just have the utmost respect for him.
Now, Dom, I would imagine over the years, you working as long as you have as a head coach and a defensive coordinator, Gary Kubiak, super well-respected, old-school offensive head coach and offensive coordinator. I bet you guys probably had some good battles along the way, right?
Well, the old Denver Bronco zone blocking scheme was one of the toughest things to defend, especially to defend that run game, and then the play action pass game that looks just like the run game. Mm-hmm. Again, I've got a lot of respect for Gary, and of course, I was the first head coach of the Texans, and Gary took my place and was the second head coach of the Texans.
Right.
But he's a great football man and a really good person.
It's very early in the equation. I mean, here we're going to go to the combine, then we got free agency and the franchise tag and the draft and the whole thing. So this undoubtedly will change. But as from what you know now, Dom, what do you anticipate your role will be with the Vikings defense?
Well, making as many moves as I have, I think the key is that when you go into a new situation, you kind of have to get a feel, of everybody's roles and what you think can be the most productive role for you. So I think it'll be a little bit of an ongoing thing as we go through, working with Andre and Adam as coordinators and then being able to visit and share things with Coach Zimmer. And so we'll see how it develops. But I know any good team is made up of a lot of guys that do the very best job they can to contribute to having a successful defense or team.
What over the years, have you learned about pressures and blitzes? And, let's go back to the beginning, man, whether it's Joe Gibbs and the Redskins running that counter tray with the Hogs through the West Coast offense, through what we see now in a pass-happy league. The well-timed blitzes and pressures, they never die. So, what are the keys to executing good ones?
Well, I think the league has become more and more of a quarterback-driven league, and the timing of the passing games and these quarterbacks are so efficient now that you constantly have to try to search some way to disrupt the timing of the passing game.
Right.
And so if you can come up with some well-timed pressures, all right, that can knock the quarterback's rhythm off, and I think that most of these games come down to 2 or 3 plays a game and who makes those 2 or 3 difference maker plays.
Yeah.
And whether it be a negative yardage run or sacking the quarterback, knocking the ball out, or making the quarterback throw early and coming up with the interception. So it's all about, to me, is you have to be sound with your base package, but you've got to have some disruptive factors in your defense.
As the defensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers from 2009 to 2017, specifically near the end, you would defend and scheme against Adam Thielen and Stefon Diggs. What do you remember about handling them, specifically with the secondary and just overall defensively?
Well, they were a handful. I mean, they create problems, Diggs is such an intense competitor, and played the game to me the way you need to play the game. I thought he was a physical receiver. He was a guy that was going to give you everything he had out there, go get the ball, and Adam Thielen was going to catch anything. I thought he was an excellent route runner and would catch anything within his radius.
Back to 2009, your first year defensive coordinator with Green Bay. That's that year Brett Favre, one of the 2 years he was here. And, I'll never forget that game at Lambeau Field. The Monday night game at Metrodome had an aura to its own, but when he went back to Lambeau, he and Ryan Longwell ran out of that tunnel, and just the feel in the building. What do you remember about those games?
Well, the thing that I remember is, of course, Adrian Peterson going strong at that point in time. So you were focused on stopping Adrian, but with Brett going in there, it made things double tough because we all know what Brett did that year.
Yeah.
And he had one of his best years. And then you combine that with a runner like Adrian Peterson, you've got a dynamic duo.
Well, at least as of now, Dom, the division goes through the Green Bay Packers. They were the champions last year. They got to the NFC title game. And when you were in Green Bay, you were there for 9 years with Aaron Rodgers. And now we're scheming against Aaron. What is just top of the head challenging about that?
Well, Aaron's he's a handful to defend, obviously. I can't tell you how many times that we've had a guy in perfect position on him and he places the ball on the opposite shoulder. He's a master at using the cadence, cerebral quarterback, and he can make any throw on the field. So he's always a challenge, but we'll look forward to the challenge of going against him.
Last one. So from 1972 at Kent State to 2020 Minnesota Vikings, well over half your life has been spent not only in the NFL, but coaching. What do you like about it so much?
I think the thing that you miss the most if you're away from it, all right, is being able to go in as a group, all right, and put together a plan and see that plan come to fruition on a Sunday afternoon. And after those 3 hours, all right, of ups and downs, be able to walk off the field having won a game. And I don't know you can replace that feeling with anything else. And if you enjoy the X and O part of the game, you enjoy the camaraderie, the teamwork, everything that goes into it, all right, it's a special, special business that I've been blessed to enjoy for a long time.